Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have to do this live stream because guess what? My last live stream yesterday, guess what? Was taken down for what they call H, the letter 8 speech. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Crazy. Muff Destroyer, are you from Santa Cruz? No, but I've skated Santa Cruz, Derby Park, and the Boardwalk, and SoCal Avenue, and I used to ride for Santa Cruz Skateboards. Absolute Knowledge Seekers, check out his channel. We did a live stream last night. Good stuff. Good stuff. And he's got a good channel. Hold on, I got a text here. All right, it's my son. Okay. Oh, I surf out there. Awesome. I've been out there. I hope you have some sort of Volkswagen Vanagon and surfing in that one area that's, where's it off of? We used to go down there and skate Derby Park all the time. So, and we'd drive out, we'd see the cliffs, and the guys would be surfing. I can't remember that area. Never surfed there, but good for you. Absolute Knowledge in the house. Appreciate it. Muff Destroyer. Muff Destroyer. Laura Cecilia. Sup, Brad? What's up with you? How are you, Laura? Laura Cecilia, or is it Laura? You tell me. Matt Downer, what up? Skateboarding is wicked awesome. Hell yeah. And guess what? The strong ones ride vert and pool. Although I do respect the guys that can do the crazy pressure flips and hard flips and all that crap. I learned a hill flip and a kick flip back in my days. And at 13, I learned the first kick flip. It was on a Ken Park Madrid board, at 10.5 wide, 30 inches long, no nose, and I was doing kick flips. There you go. Pleasure Point. All right, gotcha. So here's where we're at. The emotionals never accept accountability or responsibility. And I talked about this on the Iron Suns channel today. And it's basically, you can't deal with emotional people because their emotions steer the narrative, all right, regardless of the facts. And I gave this one analogy in sports. So I don't know if you guys watch the NBA, but Damian Lillard plays for the Trailblazers, which I'm a fan of. And he's extremely even keel. He does not get upset if he gets a foul called on him. He basically gives the ball to the ref and waits for the next play. He's that's why he's so clutch. He doesn't let his emotions dictate the game. If he loses the ball or he creates some sort of, bad play, he waits for the next play. All right. Versus Russell Westbrook, who's an amazing player, but he's extremely emotional. If he gets a foul called on him, he runs to the ref, gets in the ref's face. He looks at the crowd. He fights with the crowd. He has anger issues with the crowd. And his emotional game is up and down, right? But the facts don't lie. He committed a foul, and he's throwing a fit, basically not taking accountability. Versus the other player, Lillard, who takes accountability when he commits a foul. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Those that can't accept accountability or responsibility for their actions. Simple as that. And it goes both genders, male and female. Snowflakes cannot take accountability. They blame and play victim, and so do our counterparts, right? So I'm holding both my gender and the other gender on the table, right? I'm holding both of us accountable. James McD, hey, Rad, remember the chick I told you about that you said put me on a back burner? Yes, I do. She wrote me saying she made a mistake and wants to date me and knows her ex is an asshat. I would say ghost her. Ghost her. Mr. Ben, YouTube is a liberal platform. I'm honestly surprised any red pill channel is still running. They want to shut down masculine men voices and promote feminine soy boys, liberal pansies for 300 Trebek. 100%. My last video, the live stream yesterday that I did, that's why I'm doing it tonight, got taken down because YouTube sent me a message saying I was talking, saying bad things that rhyme with great or eight or mate. And all I said was, we're not equal. That's it. Simple as that. Physically, we're not equal, right? But I appreciate you being here. And they are, most of these channels eventually will be taken down or canceled out, because if you don't go along with the emotionals, you're considered anti-emotional. How about that? I can't use certain words now, I guess. It's so stupid. Beaumer de Bruche, OnlyFans is coming down, coming down, coming down. OnlyFans is coming down, no fair ladies. OnlyFans coming down for 300 Trebek. JL in the house. Where are you at, JL? The emotionals. That's what we're calling the emotionals. The emotionals is everything not masculine. If you're not masculine, you're an emotional, whether you're male or female. And that's the truth. When I played sports, there was 2 teams in the final championship game. And one team was a winner, and one team was a loser. And one team got the trophies, and the other went back with their tail between their legs. They didn't get ribbons. They didn't get trophies. They basically got a big L. And that's what I grew up in. I grew up in a world that actually had championship teams where we didn't get a trophy just by participating. We got a trophy because we were the best team. Do you think that's going to happen in the future when the Super Bowl has 2 teams? One wins the trophy and the other gets, Super Bowl medals? I bet, who knows what's going to happen? That is the deal. Muff Destroyer, because the truth hurts and you're a dangerous man, not for us, but for some. I don't know how I'm dangerous. I mean, I give respect to the 1% to 2% of women that take accountability and responsibility. Why would you not want a man that takes accountability or a female that takes accountability? That's all I'm asking. That's what we're asking. But no, we're too toxic. We're too controlling. Agua Espiritual is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. Always a pleasure. Cesar, these libtards need to read the Bill of Rights. Has anyone ever heard of freedom of speech? No, it's not a thing anymore. If you do not follow the alphabet agenda or the alphabet narrative, the emotionals go nuts. The emotionals go nuts. Now remember, facts over feelings. Now that's going to be considered great speech. Facts over feelings. Where have we come? There are those men who can rub some dirt in it and walk it off, and then there are those who need therapy to overcome emotional trauma of life. Now, I would agree with that. I'm talking about the emotionals that follow a narrative and agenda and victim and blame. I'm not talking about those that have been massively traumatized by their upbringing, which is extremely unfortunate, and my heart goes out to those folks that were abused. But I'm talking about millennials, young kids today that are basically latching on to the movement and the narrative that males are toxic and that we should worship at the altar of the emotionals. That's all I'm saying. And I'll let you define what I just said. Have you ever thought about doing a private channel away from YouTube where you have control of your content and not having to fear channel deletion? Just an idea. I have. I tried getting on BitChute. I tried to move all of my videos to BitChute and they didn't upload them. I tried like 3 times. The problem with that is the YT is the number 1 platform out there. This is where things move. However, we're going to see another purge. We're going to see another purge where channels are deleted, channels are flagged. If you say anything that's anti-emotional, you're going to be flagged. Greetings to Saifu, my brother. Damn, son, facts, don't care about your feelings. Try to deny the principle of gravity. I love it. I love the fact that gravity is a physical law and you can't deny gravity. People ask me, what is real in life? Gravity. If I go up to a cliff and I jump off that cliff, gravity is going to make my life wacko. I might not even exist, right? Gravity and taxes. That's all I know. Good to have you, Saifu, always. Emotionals bring us down. Stoicism is king, says the Matt Downer. Laying it down to Chinatown. Damn right. You should do an audiobook. Oh, well, I'm going to do a book. I've decided I'm going to do the 17 laws of RAD, and I'll expand upon them. And hopefully that will live on the interwebs for younger and younger men. And it'll be free. I ain't selling that crap. That's stupid. The older generations had a way to transform the hardship of life into a character-building forge. Yes, no excuses, no tears, and certainly no need for group validation. The loss of this is terrible. Wow. That is one direct statement, which I agree 1,000,000%. Men and women have turned into weak vessels, the majority. And it's unfortunate. My grandfather and his grandfather and my grandmother were strong, abled, respectable people that built this world. And now the emotionals are playing the victim and blame game. Every single one of the emotionals is a gold medal winner in the Victimhood Olympics. It's as simple as that. Very well said, Bomare. Hope I said that right. Ubermensch is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, you can't even say a man going. You know what's funny about this? A man going his own way is considered like an incel, an angry, bitter, bald guy with a big belly that sits around and plays video games. He's angry at life. A man going his own way is deciding where his life should go based on a new awareness. Based on a new awareness. It's as simple as that. We need more radio shows like Tom Leykis and less like John Tesh, says James McD. I would agree with that 100%, my brother. Tom Leykis laid it down. You know, if Tom Leykis was on the air today, he'd be canceled. Not the band, I mean, as you and your book. Well, I do this because we need to help others. I do it basically for me and my boys. That's why I do this. And I hope my boys will follow dad. And I think they will. Well, at least they'll have a foundation. It's up to them, right? But I don't want my boys to go through this kind of shit. But you know what? They're kind of propelled into it based on society, hive-minded thinking. You'd be surprised. My 16 and 20-year-old boys have friends, and they all Snapchat each other. They send pictures of their faces. It's so weird. I didn't grow up like that. We didn't send a message with some whacked out picture. I'm like, if you sent a picture of your face to another guy when I grew up, you were considered part of the alphabet soup. I mean, that was considered weak, feminine. These kids have been insulated from every challenge. They have no experience, so no wisdom. Oh, love it, Saifu. You're 100% right. They've been insulated from any potential challenge, competition. Remember, everyone gets a trophy now. That's where we live, guys. And guess who's salivating? Guess who's salivating? Guess what countries are salivating right now over that? They weren't salivating for the last 4 years. Good to have you. We need more radio shows like Tom Leykis. And like, did I just miss that? That's effing right. Blow me up. Blow me up, Tom. Take me out African travel style. I've been reading up on the first Crusades. I have respect for those men. They left everything behind and bound themselves together. The Templars had a huge effect on Western civilization. I'm glad you brought that up. Even the Moors. You really guys, if you guys really want to see where society and civilization is headed, take a look at the Roman Empire. Take a look at how they rose and how they fell, and you will see similarities. Absolute knowledge, my bad, my food arrived stuffing my face right now. I hope it's delicious, my friend. He's having a live stream a little bit later. Guys, check his channel out. Everyone here needs to give a thumbs out. Appreciate it, or thumbs up. Peace be upon you, brothers from another mother, says El de Siempre. Let me see, hold on. Morocco, living in Spain, right? Do I remember that right? Now we have programmed drones competing in the Grievance Olympics. People say, you know what, Rad, what should we do? I've got friends that are blue pilled. You can't recruit. You cannot. You got to live your life to the best possible version of yourself. You don't live for anybody else but yourself. Friends come and go. I talked about on a video, one of my best friends since age 13, since 1985. Broke up with me because I had said something that was a little bit too red pill for him. But friends come and go. Virtual families are fine. People that frequent my channel that I have better relationships with people that I've never met because we agree and think very similar thoughts. And that's what you do. The poor knights of the Temple of Jerusalem lost everything. They turned everything around and became the most powerful force militarily and technology at the time. Well, they definitely had their minds set in one direction. And, that's kind of which way we're all going. But we're competing against a hive mind. We're competing against the media, government, censorship. It's crazy. We should have our Million Man March. That might not be a bad thing. James McD, I'm 42 and about a year ago I had to teach some 17-year-old hipster how to change a tire. And when asked me how I know I had to do that, I told them my dad. Well, I taught my boy, we do the brakes and we do everything but the transmission. That's what my dad taught us. And when I was taking off the tire, I said, son, go get the crowbar out of the back of the trunk. What's a crowbar, Dad? That's where we're at. I knew what a crowbar was when I was 10 years old. And that's true. I mean, that right there is exactly, it's funny because supposedly the generation now is so technological, but they don't even go to YouTube to find out what a crowbar is. It's crazy. But I tell you what, they know every potential strategy in Call of Duty or some other video game, right? Good, I got it right. Spain from Morocco. The emotionals will ride the CC for 15 years and think that they did nothing wrong. Yes. Yes, they will. The emotionals take no accountability or responsibility. Learn to live alone. You must be happy with yourself above all else. That is the key. People come and go. People will dump your ass. Your best friends, family members will turn their backs on you. You have to be strong internally, and Saifu is laying it down to Chinatown. Right? The reality is, if you cannot be alone, that's the first thing you got to work on. Because loneliness, as I've said multiple times, is assigning your power to an external entity. In other words, a woman or a man has to be around you for you to feel validated. That's bullshit. That is not the awareness that we have. The awareness with us is like, hey, guess what? This is the way I think. This is the way I'm going. And if people don't like it, so be it. I respect them. They respect it. Hopefully they respect me. But I'm going to go live my life based on my compass, not anybody else's compass. You'd be surprised at how many people are scared to even go to the store by themselves. Saifu laying it down in Chinatown. We men need to find that common cause of our civilization if we are to prevent another slide into a dark age. We have private interests looking to colonize Mars, but there is TikTok. Yeah. I don't really have any desire to go to Mars. I don't want to live in a helmet. And there's so much land here, and I don't know what the fear is, but who knows? We are in interesting times. I'm not going to say they're troubling, or they're turbulent, or we're just in some very interesting times with society's thinking, political posturing, that we're going to be seeing some things. We're going to be seeing some things. So you got to hunker down and be strong in who you are and live a minimalistic life. Simple as that. Learn skills. Learn to take care of yourself. Learn to be alone. What can I say? It's more important now to be able to be alone than ever in the history. Well, maybe back in the Mountain Man days or before that, but you got to learn to be in love with yourself. It's as simple as that. You got to learn to want to date yourself and be with yourself, because yourself knows everything. Yourself has your back. Yourself is 100% a return on investment if you invest in yourself. Watch your ex come back on some hey stranger. It's happened to me before. Of course it has. And you guys will be seeing that soon. Saifu's our virtual grandfather, a black Mr. Rogers with a shotgun. Damn right he is. He is the Black Irishman. Check out Saifu's channel, guys. Love his stuff. We should have a big taco party. Big taco party for 300 Trebek. Just talking about the pink taco in Las Vegas tonight at the Hard Rock. What do you think about Afghanistan? I'm watching to see what happens. What do I think? It doesn't matter what I think. I think it's interesting, and I think that we lost, and I think that it's going to, the powers at hand, the other nations are watching this very, very carefully. And those nations that are strong, masculine nations, I won't name them, you know who they are, love it. Because Western thought and Western ideas, and it's basically, I think the country has just gone back about 80 years. That's what I think. Hey, Rad, I see the females that I work with change their mood, says George P., all the way from England, from happy to bored to uninterested. What does it mean? That's exactly what it means. The attention that you gave them at one point, the tank is empty. That's basically the emotional nature. Nothing you can do about it. You can forgive them for leaving, but never forget why they left. They may double back on you and try to get together again. As we say on Rad's channel, never bathe in dirty bathwater. Never bathe in dirty bathwater. Hit the like, guys. Appreciate it. But common reb, there is 3 tighted women on Mars. There might be. That's 1/3 more of a woman on Mars. I love it. I finished watching the Sopranos series, and I realized that most of the problems with the characters are related to ego and the emotionals. Isn't that funny? I'd rather die here. I don't have any desire to go to Mars, but it takes like 5 years to get there. Good for them. Not me. I enjoy my mountain bike rides in Park City and going to Mexico. It's always dark on Mars, isn't it? Hey, Rad, thank you for answering my question, really helping me see the light in life that I can do for me. Absolutely, brother. You guys ever need help, you can send me an email. I'll respond. Don't forget tequila. You know who the biggest 304 is, I think, in my book? Tila Tequila. Remember her? Who remembers Tila Tequila? Mexico has opened their borders for them. Yeah. We're gonna see some issues, guys. I mean, it's as simple as that. Only strong men will survive. So I don't say we're in turbulent times. I say we're in very interesting waters at this point. Very interesting. I'm kind of watching it going, wow. Here's a group of freedom fighters or whatever that literally took their country back from the biggest superpower in the world. And we basically ran off scared, flew out of there. It's interesting to see what's going to happen, especially the implementation of their law, which is unfavorable to what should we say, a leader or an emotional, an F emotional, FEMINIST emotional. It's not favorable to them. It's not favorable to, if someone said, hey, you know what, we need to revoke these laws and give them no voting rights. Well, guess where? It's happening. It's happening over there. It's about resources. Northeast AF is a game changer for whomever can develop them. China shares a border. Well, it's full of lithium, right? It's full of natural resources. There's trillions of dollars in those mountains. So you're right. It is. Most wars are all about resources, if you think about it. Are there any resources in Africa? Have you ever wondered why no one's ever really gone to war with Africa? Outside of apartheid and you know, some of the issues, there's very few resources. It's a desert. But the resources that exist in different areas of the world, well, there's always some sort of war because people want them. But you're absolutely right, Bomer. All the toxic masculinity. Can you believe that crap? I just follow my genetic programming and biology, and I'm toxic. Go figure. If I was younger, I would go. I'd have no problem bringing a tunnel rat. That's funny. Todo reposado, says Matt Downer. Damn right. Tila Tequila is crazy. That is what you call a 304, glorified 304. Can you believe who gets with her? Tequila does not go down smooth. I love it. It's almost like reading the first chapters of a review on the causes of a world war. Every country's motivated push for some change in their position on the world stage. Wars have started for less. Well, look at Vietnam. Look at Vietnam and the Stand, right? Small countries that beat a big world power. We've never been back to Nam. You kidding me? And I doubt if we'll ever go back to the Stand. As RPM says, the power has gone out in the Stand where all the brave feminists ready to defend their sisters. Yeah, where are they? They want the E with the ality, the quality. They want the E with the quality. How come they're not defending their sisters and their now new brothers? Again, I'm going to say new brothers on the front lines. Interesting how that works. Brazil as well. Brazil's got a lot of sugarcane, ethanol, right? And much more. Would love to buy you a round or two of Bourbon Brother. Oh, we got to get Mr. Saifu out to one of our events. He's our virtual grandfather. After every world war, the political situation destabilizing after 50, 80 years is a recurring pattern. Everything repeats itself. Everything. Rinse and repeat. Cycles are always continuous. And they say every 200 plus years, civilizations crumble and society breaks up and the country breaks up. So guess what? We've been, 250 years in the US of A? Will there be a breakup? Will states break apart? Will we see a complete new formation of our lands in the next 15, 20 years? Possibly. That's how society's gone. But you're right. What books do you recommend to read? The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Esther Vilar, The Manipulated Man. To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's see, what else? Read some New Testament in the Bible, if you're so inclined. I like Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief. Let's see, what else I read? I read a lot of early New Thought in like the 1910s and 1920s. Send me an email. I'll send you some lists. Anyone who goes right to the bourbon is bona fide. We look up to Saifu, lead us the way, says Mr. Matt. First world women will not do well in most developing countries. BS gets you a quick tune-up from reality, giving you the backhand. Well said. Well said. The 41 Laws of Power. Yes, that is a great book as well. Read that. The Art of War by Sun Tzu, another classic. Marcus Aurelius Meditations, I've read that. The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. Guys, if you really want to really understand society, go look at what happened to Rome. The most powerful army, country, society, and what happened to it. And we're seeing it now. Epictetus on Anger, Outline of History, H.G. Wells. I'm also a fan of Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. That's my favorite book of all. He's a total incel. Total incel. About a weak man. Ever hear of Werner Herzog? Is he the one that does the videos, the snowboarding, skiing documentaries? That gets you a steak dinner out of my wallet. The classic books. What else? What other books based on non-emotional strength? I've read a bunch of scientific quantum physics. I like a lot of quantum physics stuff. Busting Loose from the Business Game by Robert Scheinfeld is a great book. It's 48 Laws of Power. That's what it is, not the 41. Close. Saifu was close. So the reality is this, guys, the emotionals take no accountability, and that is on both genders, male and female. On one side, they're snowflakes. On the other, they're women of they're Karens, right? But for the most part, an emotional will not take accountability, uses facts to try to win arguments, but knows the facts. And this is why the microaggression comes in, because they know the facts are right, but they're so compelled to latch onto their narrative that they are right regardless of the truth. Regardless. Again, the analogy of Russell Westbrook versus Damian Lillard. Russell got a foul. You know, he clipped somebody on the back when they were shooting. Obviously, the slow motion shows him doing that, but he's trying to fight his position that he did not foul him because the guy moved in front of him, which is completely horseshit. All right? Using feelings over facts. Now, it doesn't work with these referees, right? They're like, nope, you fouled him, you're out. You're right? 2 shots. Damian Lillard gets fouled, keeps his emotion fine, waits for the next play. And that, if you take that analogy and you bring it to different parts of, look what we have right now. Who's leading the great superpower? Who do we have? An emotional man or a factual man? We had a factual man, but we have an emotional right now. Sun Tzu, The Art of War, one of my favorites. The enemy of your enemy. Did Sun Tzu say that? The enemy of your enemy is your friend, or was that Asal Alinsky? Reinventing Collapse, says North South, by Dmitry Orlov. I've heard about that book. I have not read it, but I like the idea. Big Sur and On the Road by Jack Kerouac, another page turner. I think I have that in my queue, actually. Science fiction version of the historical overview, The Cities in Flight, Tetralogy by James Blish. Boy, Grandpa Saifu laying it down at Chinatown. He has got the library. Asimov's Foundation series has a lot of social commentary buried in it, along with Starship Troopers by Heinlein. Starship Troopers, great. How about 1984 by Ayn Rand? Ayn Rand was great. Don't forget about her. The most, it wasn't, it was George, What did I'm off. Ayn Rand did what? 1984 was George Orwell. Ayn Rand did something. Lay it down in Chinatown. The most valuable commodity during Soviet collapse was not. Oh, Atlas shrugged. During Soviet collapse was not silver, money, food, or weapon. It was those that had stashed away cigarettes and vodka had the most bargaining leverage. I would agree. Hey, if we ever go down and there's nothing, the best bartering is alcohol and cigarettes. Absolutely. That's what they do in prison. The electric Kool-Aid acid test, pay attention and know why you take recreational narcotics. Vice News sent a woman to interview the Taliban, and she asked if women will get voting right in democracy. They told her to turn off the camera. Get the F out. This is Halloween. Yeah. Just watch. They run it now. You think they're going to listen to anyone? The Soviets lost. The other second superpower in the 70s and 80s. The U.S. lost. No one's going in there. Forget it. The essence of the book is you take something to alter your perception and do something to lock in the experience. I hate to say it, we are currently led by a potted plant, just my 2 cents. I love it. Potted plant, Gulag Archipelago. Welcome to Costco is in the house. I just got my butt wiped, says the emotional in the White House. Off topic, but talking NBA and about those Lakers, I really honestly can't wait for them to lose in the playoffs. There's going to have too many egos. Too many egos is what's going to happen. Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, another great book. Glad you brought that up. Very good book and a good movie. Atlas Shrugged, that's what I was talking about. I got it. You also have a shot of bourbon on me. Welcome to Costco. Welcome to Costco. You got to send me the email with my 17 rules. Hello, Rad, from Ecuador. Un placer hablar contigo. T-Tox, I wouldn't call Sleepy Joe emotional. I call him cold oatmeal. The only reason I call him an emotional is because he's a victim and he blames everybody else. Who would you rather hang out with? Someone that blames and takes no accountability and plays victim, or someone that says, hey, my bad. I effed up. I'm going to make it right. That's the reality. I mean, that's a weak person, and you don't want to hang out with those people. Just constantly blaming, constantly not taking responsibility or accountability. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Strong men are not like that. If we mess up, we take accountability. And that's rare these days. I'm tired of the stacking the deck by one LeBron James. I tried to give him a chance, but recent stances have really ticked me off. Well, he's playing the political role now, my friend. Get some attention. Maybe gets more people buying his jerseys. I don't have a problem with a woman choosing to be a D-juggler. My problem is her trying to deny it, like nothing happened after the fact. The truth is never the truth. Absolute. The truth is always skewed by the emotionals. Simple as that. Uncle Emotional is losing his marbles. Can you imagine if the other emotional gets in? George Stephanopoulos lobbed the emotional a bunch of softballs, and he still screwed up the interview. I know. It's crazy. Go to a used bookstore. Something printed before 60 will have much less political correctness crap in it. Besides, electronic records can be altered or deleted on a whim. Well said. Books in the 30s and 40s. Fairly Good Tennis is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Check out his channel. He's got a good channel as well. The political correctness has destroyed civilization, especially in the West. You can't talk anymore. We're basically restrained in everything that we think. See you later, Matt. And we don't have the ability to speak freely. Now, that tells me if that happens to a country that was once the beacon of freedom, as our forefathers had penciled out in the Constitution, we're effed. We're effed. Can you imagine has anybody seen Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles? Right? Mel Brooks. Most of the films before 1990 would be canceled. Right? Good to have you here, brother. The pedestallation of mediocre men will be the death of modern society. We no longer have heroes. We have panty-waisted, sensitive children held up as brave. I saw a guy wearing yoga pants, and I won't tell you what I wanted to do with my fist. PC has emasculated society. Ain't that the truth? Absolute. I have ammunition, movies, popcorn, and my wife who let it burn, and we can rebuild from the ashes. The phoenix will rise eventually, right, Saifu? Start the 25th Amendment process now. The emotional has to go, Carl. Good to have you, brother. You got my support. By the way, I really love the conversation you had with Shadow Monk. I recently watched it 3 times during those workouts. Good. Batman's great. He's got a good channel too. He's changed his name a few times, but it's Shadow Monk 6'4", I believe. Justy Puller would drag half of the modern MSM into the street without pulling a sweat. These are the type of men we need now. I wonder what would happen if, like, Marlon Brando, I don't know if you guys are Steve McQueen or some of the John Wayne, they're all going to be canceled eventually. They're too masculine. Even Humphrey Bogart from Casablanca. Too masculine. Hey, Rad, do you think women like being lied to in a relationship rather than hearing the truth from a significant other? Of course they do. Do you think it leads to a fight either way? Heavy Metal Thunder. I think I think the emotionals will believe whatever the emotionals want to believe. And they'll spin a narrative based on that versus the facts or the feelings. Now, 98% are not recommended. For me. But yeah, I mean, what it comes down to is this. Can you tell a woman if she puts on a pair of pants, you say, how does this look? Does it make me look fat? Are you going to say she looks fat? Now I would. But when I was married, no. Because whichever I said, I would still lose. If I said she looked fat, she'd call me a total DB. If I said she looked great, she said I was lying. It's kind of a test if you think about it. The best thing you can do is she says, do I look fat in these jeans? Say, you know what? What's for dinner? Simple as that. Get out of the conversation quicker than you can say. He went from a child to a head puppet. Oh, and there's videos of him doing that. The Grand Emotional, even The Sopranos. That would be canceled too. And Scarface, The Godfather, John Wayne Airport has already been canceled. Welcome to Costco. Strength and masculinity is the enemy. That's it. The 25th is not the answer. We'll be trading one problem for another. If you have to choose a potato out of a box of rotten potatoes, you'll still get a rotten potato. I don't know what's going to happen. But the emotionals seem to be winning the fight, especially in the West. Everything's canceled. Everything's considered great speech. Everything's considered misogynistic. Whatever you say is wrong. Just because you woke up today with 3 parts to your lower genitalia, 2 round things and a longer thing, you're now considered evil. Regardless if you're masculine or not masculine. That's what the courts have ruled. What would J.W. Wayne do? He'd ride on his horse and beat some serious ass. Now, what about Quentin Tarantino films? Are they going to be censored? He's a big liberal. You've seen Django Unlimited? How many times they said the N-word? How come all of these channels and these videos, if they swing from a liberal director, why aren't they canceled? Right? But the good guys are always canceled. The guys that want to maintain our freedom. We're always canceled. That speak freely. We're seeing a complete shift, guys. What was right is now wrong, and what is wrong is now right. The alphabet soup has definite tentacles into modern day thinking. Those who wish to cancel us display masculine traits of dominance and superiority. They know they cannot control real men who think for themselves. I would agree with that. Toxic and so on. Straight men in the West are now unprotected second-class citizens. Damn right, Saifu. Very well said. Straight men in the West are considered second-class citizens. Masculine men that are family men are considered second-class citizens. Men that want to improve themselves, that don't buy into the hive-minded thinking of both sides of the emotionals, is now considered a second-class citizen. The emotionals take no accountability or responsibility for anything. They assign blame and victimization to everything that is said or done in this world. And we're seeing it from the upper echelon of the White House of Emotionals. And guess who is salivating? He rides a horse without a shirt on, and he speaks a Slavic language. Kamala heals up Harris when less than 3% of the Democratic vote. This is who would occupy the Oval Office if the 25th were revoked. How the hell could this be a good thing? Something's going to happen, guys. We're not going to see the grand emotional make it. He won't make it. So we're going to see the horizontal who went vertical become the new emotional. And can you imagine meeting the strong man that rides a horse without a shirt on in a Slavic country, meeting her? Can you imagine China? Come on. I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. Strength versus weakness, facts versus feelings. That's the showdown if that happens. There we go. We got a little shame going on. Damn right. Emotionals also use logical fallacies, which are invalid arguments such as ad hominem. The emotionals are microaggressors. Remember, they cling to a theory or a narrative, regardless if it's right. They have to be right. It's a mental illness if you really think about it. Like, you came to me, if I said something like, hey, if I came to a situation and I said, I don't even remember where I'm going with my thought, but there's no sort of accountability or responsibility. It's as simple as that. Liberal Hive Mind has an excellent YouTube channel. I'll have to check that out. Stand strong. This is the SHTF scenario we've all heard about. It has arrived. Good to see you, James. The ACK barbarians will be storming the gates soon. RPM made that word today. We'll see. We're going to see what's happened. Oh, look what we got here. Rebel against defeat is racist. Well, I appreciate the call out. You're giving me some props by putting that in your name. Beta against defeat. Yeah? You know, put your face on something? Why don't you put your face on something? We'll talk about it. But hey, I appreciate you being here, right? You got some balls for changing your name to what I have. But this is a classic example of an emotional right here. I'm going to call him out. This is an emotional calling out someone and arguing about certain issues. But I appreciate you being here. You just basically showed your true colors. But I won't, you know what? I won't get you out of here. Nah. Keep on thinking, because I know your brain's full of emotions. Emotional thinking has led the asleep into a state of mass psychosis. You're right. The emotional brain is not a logical brain. Don't make decisions based on emotion, guys. Ever. Walk away. If someone wants to get you in an argument or someone wants to pull your covers, walk away. Do not engage. MGTOW is reaching a critical mass. Once we've seen a 50% or so participation rate, the philosophy will have to be dealt with by political, commercial, and social structures. Yeah, but you know what I think? I think that we're in the very beginning. I think this philosophy, hopefully, if it endures, will be eventually, it's going to take a couple decades to really sink in, if it gets to that point. Never been a better time to be a masculine man. The competition is weak, says Chris F. You're right. Be the 1% man. Chris F. And a shot of bourbon for you too. Who's this guy? You mean, first of all, we don't do emojis on this channel, brother. I don't even know if you're probably a woman. I'm a jobless loser. I thought religious people have love. What are you saying? You make no sense. You sound like an emotional. So sick of weak men calling someone racist because they don't agree with their narrative. One of my best friends is black, dude. And I love the Mexican and Latin culture. How am I racist? Again, this is an emotional response. This is what we're talking about. Emotionals take no accountability, and he's an emotional. We love it. Or whatever it is. Maybe it's a they. The they is an emotional. But I love the fact that someone's coming on my channel because guess what? I love negatives. I love the downvotes because it means my message is getting out there. That means this. Masculinity is the future. Masculinity is the only saving grace. Not emojis. But if you want to have a discussion, let's have a discussion. You want to come to Vegas and meet up? Come to Vegas. We are still in the shadows. We are having an impact. More youth are walking away too, and the women are finally noticing. I think women or the emotionals are so delusional based on the attention and validation that they don't know which way to walk. But I agree with you, Saifu. Name calling. I don't mind being called names. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Big deal. People are gonna, do their thing. I get it. But just have a conversation. Ask me a question. Don't label me. You can label me all you want, but that just shows your emotions. Glove comes in many forms, sometimes at the backside of a hand. I love it. Marlon Brando, Streetcar Named Desire, would love that quote, Bomare. One of my favorite films. And Paul Newman. Paul Newman was a great actor back in his early days. If you're going to call someone something they're not, give facts that support the argument. Talking to fake rad / says JW Tyrant. You know what? If the guy can be like logical, but I don't think he is. He's an emotional. Whatever it is, they are an emotional. Thanks, brother. Charlie Cazada, get that goo. Now let's have him come in here. It's all right. Our masculinity is not for women or betas to define. Correct. Grandpa Saifu. From now on, Saifu is Grandpa Saifu or Grand Sage Saifu. I like Grand Sage better. Lone Wolf. Good to see you, brother. How's a woman yours if she gets 500 messages a day on social media? Guys, 98% of women, their phone is their boyfriend. Their phone is their boyfriend. If you really think about it, they're in love with robots. All right, what we got? You're right. Ringers are all full of it. Haha, the Ben Shapiro talking points just come out and say you don't like certain. What the fuck are you talking about? You sound like a fucking idiot. Right-wingers, what are you? You're a social justice warrior, possibly, because you're slating Ben Shapiro, who's smart as fuck. He beats all your damn liberals. But you know what? Have your opinion. But you just sound stupid as hell. Quit assigning victimization and blame and back up your argument. The sheep have become restless because they feel the eyes of the wolves upon them. Soon they will bleat for the sheepdogs to come save them. Those dogs will not be sporting colored hair. Can you imagine? I have not seen a dog yet with pink hair, but I'm sure there's some out there. The labels you haters try to put on us are valueless. You cannot understand our individual mass migration, so you hate it. Yeah, there's emasculated men. We have one in the chat right now, or whatever it is, and is too afraid, loves to spew. This is a typical tactic of the left and of an emotional. So bring out something that, you know what, bring something out. Show some intelligence, which is, I know is hard. My wallet, my choice. Good to see you, brother. Block this Kyrad. No, I don't block people. Let people hang themselves. Their phone should be long, cylindrical, and rubbery. T-Tox in the house. Brother, if the phone batteries died, does that mean they just broke because the phones got tired of the woman's BS? The woman is the phone is their new boyfriend for 98% of them. Jairai, who hurt you? Well, I would say I hurt myself based on lack of awareness. But now my eyes are opened. So the only one that can hurt myself is me. Knowing what I know. Knowing what I've been through, my experience. But I love it. I love it. The great thing about the left, they make the rest of us look so good. Yeah. Have their parades. Have their cancel. You know, the left can't deal with thoughts from the other side, because what they do is they inundate it and go after hate speech and can't try to cancel them because they cannot accept a formal discussion. MGTOW Life is in the house, brother. How was it? How was Sturgis? I think he went to Sturgis. Hope you did good. I'm glad you were. If you got out there, I'm glad you could do it. You're almost back to work, I think, right? Next couple months. All right, let's see. The rebel against defeat is right wing. Damn right I am. Why wouldn't I be? You think weak men are left wing. Weak men are liberal. You're a weak whatever the fuck you are. The left liberals, these are all vocabulary of suspected right wing capital riot. Jeez. I'm trying to track your train of thought. I'm trying to track. First of all, I'm a racist. Now I'm right wing. Okay, love it. Will you bring something to the table that we can actually discuss? You sound like a fucking idiot. The Sex Life miniseries hurt me. Oh, absolutely. I watched that. Did that not propel what we're talking about? Does that not show male and female nature? Both natures. Hey, you haters, some of us have been through things that would have broken most people, yet know that there is nothing stronger than a broken man who has rebuilt himself. Damn right. Damn right, brother. You had chemo. Oh, man, I thought you were going. But next year, MGTOW Life. Hopefully you're doing good. How's your body doing? Capitol rioters, guess they were just as dangerous as the Taliban. That 85-year-old grandmother was a Trump ninja in disguise. First of all, a man going his own way does not use violence or force. He uses example. Good to have everyone here. For sure he is. I want him to just bring out something that is actually valuable to discuss. He's just all he's doing is blaming and victimization. He's doing exactly what we talked about, emotional taking accountability. I don't like how so many people have flooded the manosphere lately in wild and shameless attempts to steal the light. MGTOW leads the manosphere, and to claim MGTOW, one must truly align. Very well said, Levigi. Very well said. Good to have you. I have 3 chemotherapy to go, then HIPEC surgery. All right, brother. You already made it this far. You are almost to the finish line. Now they're pushing boosters. Yeah, I bet this guy is a complete believer in the poke. What is anti-rad's deal? Who heard it? Why would you spend your energy if you don't agree with these channels? It doesn't make any sense. I don't go to liberal channels. Why? Liberalism is a mental disorder. I have no time for that. I have time to help my brothers and to discuss certain things about how we can move forward and have a great life. It's crazy. Hey, Rad, first world countries have allowed women to not take responsibility for maternal roles through the process of abortion. So why is it men can't quit the paternal role as women do? Darlene Pena Ponciano. It's because of the programming within the court system and society. It's very well said, Darlene. Very well said. Good to see you. Good to see everybody in this house. Jaja, oh baby man, boy is back. Ma boy is back. Hey Rad, looking forward to GNR picks. What do you think of them now? I don't think Axel can sing. I was watching some videos they did last week. Slash and Duff, they're on it, but Axel just can't sing anymore. I was looking at Adler's Appetite, which is Steven Adler's band. They sound like more like Guns N' Roses. It is easy to hide behind a keyboard and act tough. Would never have the balls to say this to your face. Weak man, James Miller. I would agree. 100%. Good to see you, brother. Here's hoping we vote out Trudeau on September 20. He's the worst PM in history. He's an emotional. Voting out Trudeau for 300 Trebek. Retro Gramer, good to see you, brother. Next year, I'll go almost zero side effects, no energy loss. Oh, I love it. That's what we need, brother. You know, our strong MGTOW Life back. Check MGTOW Life's channel out. He's got some great little snippets. You haven't posted for a while. A man that has walked through hell and emerged unscathed is a dangerous man. Words hold no sway, and violence is merely an invitation to exorcise his demons. You know, it's funny that you say that, because I remember listening to a guy that taught men how to street fight and how to defend themselves and how to, if they got, jumped in the street. And he said, this is what he said. This guy he could kick anybody's ass. And he was teaching guys how to defend themselves and how to fight back. But he said the best fight to be in is no fight. Like, if you're approached and there's a fight, get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. That's what he said. This is coming from did you guys ever play that video game, Street Fighter, back in the day? This guy was a badass. Like, you didn't fuck with him. But all he said was, get out of that situation if you can at all costs. But if you couldn't, he would teach you how to defend yourself. Well said, Bomer. My wallet, my choice. Rad, you really show us how to be a grown man. Hey, put your face on. Let's talk. This is the problem with the left. They just can't use mature arguments. It's all about blame victim. I'm a right winger. Yeah, my principles are right wing. You know why? Because that's strength. It's not weak. A weak man is a liberal. A liberal blames and plays victim, just like the emotional right now on Pennsylvania Avenue. Blaming his predecessor. He's going to blame his predecessor his whole time. What if you went to a job, they fired the last guy, and you went in and said, I'm bringing you in to fix this database. And all you said every week with your boss, you said, you know what, this guy, he really effed it up. I can't fix it. That guy would fire your ass. He brought you in to fix it, not to blame the other guy. That is a liberal. Good to have you, brother, my wallet. Sometimes force is necessary when force has been placed upon thee. Only when force is placed upon thee is when it's necessary. Some people got nothing better to do. I got no problem dealing with them. You're just watching the spaghetti brain in action. And I'm going to have 3 or 4 dislikes. He's probably the same guy that got my last video last night taken down by YouTube for having great speech, which, what have you. All men can do in today's world is leave women alone. It's the safest long term. I would agree. Or get a waifu. More and more as I get older, I feel like monogamy will not work long term. Mysterio is in the house, brother. Good to see you. For very few at the most, no woman I have run across in the last year I can ever see wifing up. Things have changed. Things have changed, Mysterio. What do you think of swingers? It's pretty weird to me. People getting together and straight plowing like animals. I know in Utah where you are, there's a counterculture. There are a couple miles away. I wouldn't do it. That's just me. I'm a strong man. Cancer picked the wrong man this time. Fuck yeah, they did. And yes, I need to make another video, which I will soon. All right, let's get back to our friend here. Of course, Utah, Colorado breeds right-wing, odd, nerdy losers like you who get divorced. Oh, haha, you got divorced. You have no game. I love it. Nerdy loser. I love it. But you come to Vegas. Come to the rad experience in Vegas. Let's meet up. You got divorced. You have no game. I found the perfect woman 2001 S2000 Honda. She roars and she's turned on at the touch of a button. Do you have a hardtop? Best of all, she has no way to take half of my hard work. Honda S2000. Better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. Well said. Hey, Rad, I didn't know you were on, Teddy Boy, all the way from England. Well, I'm on now because my yesterday's live stream was deleted. Another on the list, I have to buy a bourbon. I think there's going to be a lot of bourbon being purchased. You have the heart of a warrior. You'll win this fight. He's already won it. He's already won it. I would agree with that statement, Teddy Boy. 100%. Men are not really allowed to be emotional. Women are not allowed to be that way or we'd be in a different world now. So WW Atman. Men are not allowed to be emotional. Well, it's not in our nature. Mysterio. Andrew in the house. Rao, what are some things you love about Utah? I love the mountains, the weather, the direct flights, the cost of living, that it's a red state. People must begin adopting honesty in all aspects of their lives. If there were for this America to have any future, which it does not. You got to be honest with yourself. That's as simple as that. That's someone that going his own way. A guy that's honestly focused on going his own way is going to look at what's going on, what went on in the past, and where he wants to go. And he's got to be honest about himself. You see 300 pounds, he's be honest with the fact he's got to get to 180. He's got to eat better. If he's realistic that he put a woman on a pedestal, he's got to realize that he can't put anyone on a pedestal in the future. Well said. Hey, Rad, hope you're doing well. How do you feel about the jab? A Spanish study revealed that graphene was... I do not have the poke, my brother, and I do not look forward to... I will not get it. It will force you to be social, some hairy Italian guy. Whatever happened with the waitress? Did you ask her out? Yes, I will win Saifu. It's going to be really hard, but I don't have a choice. It's fight or quit. I never quit. Now, I think this is harder from you dealing with that... your last relationship, MGTOW life. I think you're going to beat this, no problem. We are above politics as the MGTOW. Put yourself first. Be a winner. The hell with all politicians. They are thieves. Couldn't have said it better, James. Damn, son, it'd be nice to actually hear a coherent argument and not the same tired snips of deflection and shaming. Sounds like a woman. Sounds like a Karen. Sounds like an emotional. Again, facts over feelings. Soft top, a garage kept, perfect, stole it in an estate auction. I saw one today. Look, that was a nice white, lowered, looked really cool. Thanks, brother. Thanks for being here. We all get through life together. Rad does not need defending, but if you don't like a certain brand, why bother? Comment. I will not comment on I love Pepsi side if I'm into Coke. Pepsi challenge for 300 Trebek. Who took the Pepsi challenge? I took it in the 80s. One Shot TV got demonetized because he did talk truths and demonstrations. YT is trying to silence a lot of good people nowadays. Yes, they are. So when are we going to get together for some male bonding over some adult beverages? We're planning in Vegas in October. I am willing to host a gathering in Boise. We're close. Are you? I didn't know you were in Boise. 4 hours away. Brad, you really won the game of life by rewriting your life in your 40s. It was a choice. I could either be, I could end up with, I could end up like an emotional, or I could, which I wasn't raised by an emotional, or I could move forward, right? All right. MGTOW Life, you're my hero. You will win with whatever happens in life. Yes, he will. He's doing great. The real secret to delineate yourself from the average guy, compete with yourself only. If you compete with others, you will only do what is necessary to defeat your opponent. I think we should change MGTOW to IGT, I go my own way. IGMOW. 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 Would that be this? I go my own way. There we go. IGMOW. I think that's what it's got to be. Right? It's as simple as that. The real secret to, okay, I just went through that. Teddy boy, I realized girl only sees me as a friend. It was a blow. I have learned that women don't view men the same way that men view women. No. We have two different brains. We have two different brains. Guys, check out MGTOW Life's channel. He's got some good stuff. Definitely one of our brethren. Make it happen, Rad. I will be there. Yeah, I got to look at second or third week. Rad, ever watch Better Bachelor? Like, is he is very glued. Yeah, I like his stuff. He's got some good stuff. I like how he's very uses facts. And I like guys that are factual, right? Better Bachelor, yeah. Oh, I already saw that. IGMOW, I'm going my own way. That's right. Moving forward means moving your energy. Defeat means you stand still and lay down your sword. You really have to rebel against defeat. You have to rebel against what happened to you. And that's all we do. That's all we do. What happened to us in the past, we decide that we can have a better present and a better future. Regardless of what happened. We're all here because of something happened to us. We experienced a relationship breakdown. We experienced something that woke us up. And we went through hurt or pain or tribulation or difficulty. We don't hate. We understand. We navigate life by the understanding and the awareness that we now have based on experience. Destruction or romantic myth is what brings on RP rage. I would agree with that statement 100%. The breakdown of the fantasy, the evaporation of the illusion is what brings that as well. When you realize that what you thought you once knew is not really what happened or what will happen. And people go through it. People are upset. They go through the upset stages. Like they were lied to, like their life doesn't matter. Well, your life does matter. Life matters now because guess what? We're all in this together and we move forward with an awareness that, hey, we can have a great life. We'll allow whatever we want in our life based on this new awareness, not on some fantasy or fairy tale. Women like attention and validation, 100%. 100%. The emotionals love attention and validation, don't they? My date the other day told me I don't know what I want. I knew immediately she was pushing away my advances. Perfect, Jer. Check out Sunrise City, young guy with a lot of positive information. I do. I subscribe to his channel. He's good. Real good. Young kid. We do not hate women or society. We understand both. No hate. That's why we're here. Yeah. Absolutely, MGTOW Life. Hoodies up, hoodies out. He's got some good stuff. A 1% positive change every day results in transformation over time. Not 100% change, That results in unintended consequences. Moving energy towards the direction that you want to go is the key. No one said to eat the elephant in one bite, right? One bite at a time. And when you uncover something you found out about yourself that you really like, it just builds. When you find something that, hey, you know what? I didn't like to cook. I couldn't cook. It was horrible. I mean, I could make basic stuff, but I learned to cook out of this experience. And now I love to. I love to make all sorts of things that I never thought I could. And you just build upon block, right? Most of your content does not get taken down. Do you think you're on YouTube shut down men's channel list, Mysterio? Probably. Probably Mysterio. Lots of emotionals at their headquarters. Why do women encourage simps? Because they get attention and validation. And they're basically, they're like that one guy that was in the channel. They just use them and abuse them. They're always the backup for attention. He, a man, is 20 with an old soul. I learned from him too. Yeah, there's good content from lots of creators out there. I listen to everybody. There's a lot of guys. Young, old. I think Saifu's the oldest. But yeah, good stuff out there. Much respect to Sunrise. Hoodies up, hoodies out. Damn right. They get attention and validation because it's easy. Because men will give it to them. Especially emotional men. That would be awesome if we could fly, get the evil Santa MGTOW Monk to come to Vegas. We'll have to go to the Golden Steer where Elvis ate. That's for sure. Brutal city traffic is filled with older women with no testosterone. The road's like a big feminist lazy river hell. Strong men don't blame and deflect. Strong men don't play victim. Strong men don't shame and call people names. Strong men do not vote liberal. So if you ever come into contact with someone that shames and plays victim and blames you and votes liberal, that's a weak man. Very weak. We are not weak men. We are strong men that stand our ground. We do not resort to violence and anger or name calling. Be aware of a woman can leave anytime, says Chris. She's not yours, it's just your turn. I agree. Simps have no conviction, therefore easily manipulated. Very easily manipulated. And they're emotional. It's hard when you are starting out. It's hard if you don't understand the awareness, but it gets easier. You should put yourself first. Yourself will never, ever cheat on you. Women get the good end of life in the start of their life. Men on the end part of their life. Correct? Women are always, they're head of the pack in the first 3 decades. And the men, their last, from the 3rd decade on, is when they start seeing the acceleration of a great life. If and only if they have the awareness and they're not living the fantasy. You always have negative thought and emotion, but with training, you do not let them overwhelm you. Correct? The Game of Thrones is a subtle thread about conviction of purpose and its power in the long term. Jon Snow. He was stoic and direct, right? Ned Stark goes down. Wasn't scared from that little, what was that guy's name? Joffrey? That took his life. I've got to run. See you later, brother. Stay on purpose. Help other men whenever you can, and don't hate. They are malleable humans. It's an understanding of the potential, nothing more. Correct. Well said, MGTOW Life. You younger guys are so lucky to have access to this information. Hope you listen and save yourselves a lot of money and pain. I had to learn the hard way. So did I. But that is why we are here speaking and moving forward. You trying to stream the new episode after this on my channel? I don't know what that means, absolute. How many babes should I have in rotation? As many as possible. That way you won't get attached. I'm in college. How do I pay these women no attention when they're everywhere? Chris F. Act like they don't exist. Don't look at them. It's that simple. If you don't give them attention, they'll seek yours. Any more tips on fasting? Just change it up every week. Yesterday, I went till today, and then I'm going to go 16 from today to tomorrow. That's how I'm going to break it up. And then I'll probably do like Sunday to Monday, another 24. But try to break it up. Don't go every day the same. Break it up. And then take a day off. I'm in the manosphere to show that red pill knowledge and wisdom can come to any man regardless of age. Damn right. I'm going live right after this. You want to join this panel. Anyone that wants to jump on Absolute Knowledge Seekers, if I can make it, I'll make it. I got some things I got to do. But that's where we're at, guys. Emotionals don't take accountability, blame, deflect, shame, call names, and just literally show their true colors. MGTOW doesn't recruit. We merely usher men into the fold as they gain vision to see the truth. 100%. 100%. Guys, it's been great. It's Rebel Against Defeat, Chase Excellence, Masculinity, Men First.